Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you Tuesday, June the 25th, the year 2019. Let's talk trading. My favorite indicator. I think you guys can probably guess what my favorite indicator is. But why did I pick this subject today? It seems like my inbox is getting overflowed with all these different traders who are talking about their favorite indicator. You know, if you give them your name and your email address, they'll send you the ebook, My Favorite Indicator. And I have to laugh because I just find it amusing that they talk about their favorite indicator, but then usually there's a whole batch of indicators that they talk about. But the thing is, they never really say what an indicator is or exactly what an indicator should do or what it's for. You see, I made a video, I think years ago, talking about indicators, and indicators come in many different flavors. I mean, some indicators I use are for selecting what pairs to trade. Some indicators are for selecting when to trade. Some indicators are for selecting how to trade. But of course, my favorite indicator is the simple horizontal line. I mean, it's funny because some people say the best indicator I wrote is the indicator I used to make this screen, which is the My Notes indicator. So, some indicators display different things. And then, of course, I write the statistical indicators, the frequency distributions, the ones that do all the statistics, the minimum, the maximum, the mean, the mode, and the, let's see, mean, mode, max, min, and there's one other one. We'll get to it in a second. But most people just don't understand, the nature of indicators. They talk about indicators that repaint. I mean, there's very few indicators that actually repaint. You see, indicators process data in real time. So, for example, somebody said the zigzag indicator repaints. No, the zigzag indicator updates in real time is what it does. You see, that's just a mistake that some people make. They use English improperly. They don't understand it from what the computer's doing. Those of you who don't know, my degree's in computer science. I'm a dinosaur. I punched cards back in college when I was learning how to use computers. So that's pretty much tells you how long I've been, using a computer. And I really hate to see it when people spread ignorance or myths and they try to pass it off as reality, and that's why I am not well liked on many trading forums, because I basically can go in and just state my case in a logical manner with proof, with data, with evidence, and they can't refute my logic, so they have to attack me personally, tell everybody I'm a scammer and things like that. So I'm curious, let me know what your favorite indicator is. You know, maybe you have an indicator that does your risk management and your money management for you. I know I've written a couple because on every trade you have to put your stop loss to keep you from losing more than what you want to lose on that particular trade. Indicators, once again, horizontal lines. So you see here, a horizontal line is usually placed at a level so you can see where price is in relation to that level. The previous week's high. Right now, price is below it. You can see that. And on my indicator, I put how many pips away from the line price is at the moment, just to help. Orders indicators that, display the bar time, your local time, when the bar ends. Right here, the chart period, the pair, the price, how far is it away from the open, how far from the daily high, how far from the daily low. I mean, those indicators are right here is indicating where position of price. So I call it GPS. I mean, tell you what the current spread is. Here in the dashboard, I mean, how many, are there any open gaps, weekly gaps? Where price is in relation to the daily wick zones, the previous day's candle. Is it above it, below it? Same for the weekly. And whether or not there's an inside bar or how long ago the inside bar occurred. So indicators can tell you many different things. Some are trade indicators telling you, oh, there's a possible trade. Or, I've got the candle color multimeter. In this version, it tells you how many green or red candles you have in a row. So here, so far, weekly, this is one in a row. If this was green, then this number would be a 2. So right here on the 5-minute chart, there's 2 green bars in a row. You use these for buzzard reversals. That was funny. Somebody brought up the buzzard reversal and asked me about it. That's something I hadn't talked about in years. It's one of those things where I see it, but I don't really think about it. It's like I see, oh yeah, we got 3 or 4 in a row. Start looking for a reversal. You start looking at 3 and at 4. So whenever you see a bunch of candles, here's 3, you look for a buzzard reversal. Look at that. Here you go again. 1, 2, 3. Start looking for a reversal. Horizontal lines. First one I like to start with is daily open. This is what the buy zone's based off of. I do some statistical analysis. I know if price goes between 8 and 10 pips from the open, price will usually continue. I say usually. Does it always do it? No, but it did it here. There was a few pips and it did it here. There's many pips. You see here's the weekly open. And once again, we have a buy zone off the first day of the week, weekly open. Oh, once again, we're just talking horizontal lines. We got the pivot point, which is a calculation. You add up the previous day's high, low, and close, and then you divide it by 3. And you get a level. And many traders like to use that level as a place to enter or as a target to go towards. I like using it as a target. So here, since it opened too close to the open price, I ignore that signal. And in this case, I would just trade the buy zone straight away. But, statistics shows that the distance between the open and the pivot, right there, that area, that gap, price usually goes from the open to the pivot on a regular recurring basis. And if it doesn't hit it that day, it usually takes it out sooner or later. Of course, that doesn't always happen. There's usually a few missed pivots, but over the course of years, there's not many missed pivots. Indicators that tell you what price is done, like the range indicator. How far has price moved today from or traveled from high to low? You can see here we've got 5 pairs that have gone over 100 pips, with the euro yen clocking in at 81. And then a Fibonacci retrace. So where's the price in relation to today? You see it's at the 11% level. Oh, another horizontal line type indicator. You see here when I open this trading profile, this is when I opened it just a few minutes ago. And then price went here, they gave a trigger, and you see it's coming back down. But if it triggers this way, I can definitely close and then open going in the other direction. Or you have indicators that tell you what's going on. In this case, buying and selling based on a simple observation that I made. If you hit the F9 key on your MT4 trading platform, you will see here the tick chart. And there's the bid, there's the ask. You see the bid made a peak, price came down, crossed below, the ask came down, crossed below the bid. So I consider that selling. Now you see here, the ask made a low right here. I call it a valley. So it made the valley here. If the bid gets above this level here, I will call it buying. And that's how the indicator toggles back and forth between buying and selling. Once again, simple stuff. But you can look at your chart and you can put a horizontal line pretty much anywhere you want. The sweet spot's gold indicator every 10 pips, or you can change it via inputs to 5 pips or 20 or 25. However you want to space it, you can do it. And then you can just see how price moves from one level to the other. And if you space it appropriately for the range of the pair that you're trading, then you can see that price will usually open in one level and exit to another level. It might not stay there, like right here, you see it opened here, it exited, moved down and closed in the same level. Same thing here, it opened, it exited the level, came back down. Here it opened and exited the level, open, exit, open, exit. Just simple observations of price action. What does price do? And being able to exploit it. This isn't difficult. You don't need those esoteric formulas that produce squiggly lines. At least I don't think you do. And then, as I mentioned before, frequency distributions, where it tells you, where you calculate, say in this case, the range, and how many times is the daily range between 0 and 9, 10 and 19, 20, 29, and so on. So you have some idea of whether or not price may or may not reverse at from the current level, or will it continue in the same direction. Oh, the other one's mode: min, max, mean, mode, and now I forgot the other one. Mean, mode, min, max. See, mean is average, mode is most, min is minimal, max is maximum. And there's a fifth one, and I can't remember it off the top of my head. So maybe somebody can post that, and I'll have to come back and let you know what it is. Probably as soon as I turn off the video, I will remember. But there you go, fellow traders. My favorite indicator, the horizontal line. But just remember, no matter what indicator you're using, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. Go out there and drain the banks.